We're back and sticking with our Bathurst trivia theme. How many Kiwis have won the Bathurst race? And between them, how many victories do they have? Think about that, we'll have the answer at the end of the show. This is NZV8TV. Brought to you by Smiths Group, suppliers of leading automotive brands. Newlon, Maguire's, House of Colour, Spice Hacker, and a whole lot of other stuff to keep your V8 shiny, cool and fast. Not quite standard? Well, neither are NAC Insurance. They understand. NAC.co.nz. And it's Muscle Car Madness this week. We got so much cool footage at the Muscle Car Masters that we've got a whole show of it. We ride on board with legend Glenn Seaton. The Wild Kiwi Central Muscle Cars show the Aussies how to put on a show. And it's a muscle car massacre. We'll show you what caused this. Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway was the venue for the 2009 Muscle Car Masters, an event that celebrates everything that is historic and cool about Australasian motorsport history. Most of it V8 powered. Of the multitude of classes present, the ones that took our fancy were Group NC, cars from 1965 to 72 that capture the raw power and excitement of early 1970s series production and improved production racing all in one category. Group A, these are all genuine cars that actually competed during the years of 1985 to 1992. And the ultimate nostalgia trip, genuine Group C race cars from 73 to 84, many of them driven by the legends of that time. And what a lineup of legends there were in the Bionti Touring Car Masters. 7 times Bathurst winner and father of a Bathurst winner, Jim Richards. The most famous beard in Australian motorsport, John Bowe. And one of the original pioneers and Sith Lord from the dark side.
Told they get more people here than the V8 supercar rounds.
I've been watching you, young Skywalker.
Retired from full-time racing in 2005, one of the best-known names in V8 supercar racing is Glenn Seaton. A 2-time champion with over 200 race starts, he was here with his EL Falcon, his favourite old Capri, and some German thing that won the Nissan Mobile 500 in Wellington in the 80s.
It's one of those events I really love, looking forward to coming back every year. It's almost like Bathurst was. As in looking for that opportunity that October to come around. I'm always looking for that opportunity now for that September to come around to get here to compete at this event, because it's the biggest historic event in Australia. I had more fun than the Capris, to tell you the truth. They really enjoy to drive. It's actually back where I started motorsport. Why I did it was because I enjoyed motorsport and driving race cars. Back early days of the Moffats and the Brocks and the LHOs and the Capris and the XU1s and all that sort of stuff. And it's just all those cars back in what motor racing was like back in them day. And it was sort of, I suppose, it was semi-professional those days, but more amateur sort of motor racing. And that's what people like to see is that form of motor racing of what it was like in them days. It was mine back in '97. That's when I won the championship in it. A friend of mine owns it now, which he keeps it under his house, a bit of a shrine under his house with all the race suits and the helmets and things like that. So it's great to see it's in good company, and he looks after it, and naturally to be able to see it every year and come back and have a drive of it as well in the Heritage Hot Laps and also those Master Blasters is great just to bring back those memories.
And Glenn let us ride along on the Heritage Hot Laps. Well, they're actually kind of lukewarm laps, really. This is where some of the most famous cars in Australasian motorsport get out there and do some demonstration laps for the crowd. And this is a great way for us to show you what it's like around this up and down Eastern Creek circuit. And here's a whole lot of history lining up on the last corner onto the huge front straight at Eastern Creek. And to show you just how fast this EL Falcon is, with one stab of the throttle, Glenn overtakes about $1.5 million. Down into what's considered to be the fastest corner in Australia, turn 1 at Eastern Creek. This thing just goes on and on and on, and you run out of room on the outside. And later in the show, you'll see how little room there is there. Down into turn 2, Seaton puts a huge move on Johnson and takes the lead and hits the curb. Gently does it out of here. Give it a big load of right jandle just for the crowd, and up into turn 3 over the blind crest. One thing about Eastern Creek is it's always dusty and dirty and there's not a lot of grip. You can tell Glenn's an old school driver because he's always refused to wear a closed face helmet. Starting to climb up to one of the highest points of the track. One of the hardest things to do on TV is to really show you the sense of elevation on some of these racetracks, and Eastern Creek has got some cool ups and downs. Lots of blind crests. And over this next bit, this is a big downhill break. Really hard to pull the car up. Early on the brakes, Glenn's so far ahead here, he's just down to second gear and cruising. And that pretty much completes the lap. Thanks for showing us around, Glenn, and hopefully that gives you guys a better sense of this track as you watch what's about to unfold. Smith's Group has car care products for you. The Ultimate Maguire's Pack and the new line Extreme Performance range. To win these great products, just go to v8.co.nz and hit win stuff. Saturday, race day. And after a year's absence, the Kiwi Central muscle cars were back at Eastern Creek. Unlike their Aussie counterpart classes, the Kiwi Series is all about taking classic muscle cars, adding up-to-date components and huge horsepower for exciting racing. The crowds love them, and Alan Grice gave us his opinion.
I think it's the beginning of the end if you start doing that. Where do you finish with, V10 Ferrari engines in them and tearing old wishbones apart? I don't think it's smart at all. I think it's good to respect the cars for what they are and what they were.
Oh, thanks, Gricey. Oh, well, you must have liked something about Mandy Sinclair's Chickadee replica because you signed it.
Alan Grice, Graham Bailey, won in '86 at Bathurst. Yeah, very famous car. I actually had a season off last year, the season before I finished third. And yeah, so it's good. I'm coming back again this year, so hope to do better than that. Yep, got about 540 horsepower. They love having us here, and they've been really hospitable and bent over backwards, done a lot for us. Feel very welcome. Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's a fantastic track, lots of fun.
It's a GT replica. It's an XA shell that we just converted to a race car. About 690 horsepower, I think. I am new to the Central muscle cars, so I had to join to come over here, but good bunch of guys, really fast cars, so hoping to mix it up with them this weekend, but we'll see what happens. We've got a few more freedoms than they're allowed in some of their classes, a bit more horsepower in that, but they've got a few better things than us, so it should be quite good. That last race on Sunday when we come up against their cars, should be interesting. This track's awesome. Yeah, no, it's real good. Pretty challenging, but we've got a miss in there somewhere that we're trying to get rid of. We've changed everything electrical, so the only place my car's going to be any good's down the front straight this weekend, and we've got a big miss going all the way down there, so we need to get rid of that so we can try and catch up.